Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. We will be starting in maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I will share my screen. I hope you can see me clearly, and also you can see my screen. Please let me know. I will connect from other device. A second. Excellent. Good evening, everyone. Please allow me to welcome everyone into this quick demonstration and discussion about one of the most important topics nowadays in the industry and in academia, which is related to business analytics and the using of the several tools to analyze and make sure we get the most data value of the data we have to support our business. I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Anas Najdawi. I am associate professor of digital business at Abu Dhabi University, and I am the director of Dubai campus. It's a great pleasure, honestly, to have this opportunity to present one of the topics that I'm really interested about, and I think it's going to shape the future of many organizations. And in the near future, we will expect to see more demand on people specializing in the area of business intelligence and also being able to work with data with the latest tools and technologies. So the goal of our session today is to honestly is to give us a general overview, an idea about a tool, which is one of the tools available in the market provided by Microsoft. It's called Power BI. I know that it's not the only tool in the market, but the reason why I selected today to talk about or to present Power BI because I believe that most of us are familiar with Microsoft products and tool products uh, such as or softwares we are using every day, including Excel, Microsoft Access, which is some of you are using it for building their relational databases, Word. So the Office suite itself is maybe more familiar with many of us, and the concepts that are actually will be implemented in the Power BI will be very similar because it's provided from the same company. So today I will go through this 1 hour through a quick journey. I will start with some slides just to have a preparation of the main idea and the main topics, and then we will go and to show you how we are actually using that tool. So it will be like an overview about how to work with the Power BI and what are the main functionalities, with some small demo about the utilization of this tool in our business scenarios. So this is the outline that I will be following. I will go with some benefits about using the Power BI. We will cover why Power BI is and what are the benefits of specifically for the Power BI. We will start showing how we can get this software and how we can actually install it and work with the different versions of it. This tool, one of the most powerful advantages of this tool, that you can actually publish the visualization. You can use it and share it with different users from different devices. So we will see some versions that are working on the desktop and some of them published on the web service on the cloud, and some users can also get the Power BI on their mobile, which is going to be very convenient if you are having, for example, a project where you would like to visualize your data and then you are planning to share it with multiple users who are actually using different devices. Not only this, but also the roles they are playing. Not everyone will have the same role when it comes to data analytics. Some of us could be a decision maker who just wanted to see a final visualization and use a dashboard in order to take decisions and to be able to navigate or understand the situation of the whole business. Some of us are actually analysts who would like to create and participate in the designing of such visualizations. Some of us would be developers from the IT department and more technical. They are working actually with more technical needs, who are actually supporting the infrastructure of the data. And definitely, analytics is a huge field or area, and we cannot see ourselves, one person can be specialized in everything. Well, at least today, what I'm planning to do is let's go into a very quick, let's say, overview of the process from taking the data, connecting it to the Power BI, trying to understand how we can do cleaning, preparation, and going into the report generation, and also what we call it here in the Power BI terminology. When we say report, we are actually talking about the visualization itself. And after that, we will move into working with these interactive reports and dashboard that sometimes in the past we used, for example, Excel, and we used to have a lot of time to generate maybe 1 or 2 visualizations. So this is the main outline of our presentation or our seminar today, and I will start by having an overview about the data analytics. So in our terminology, when we say data analytics, actually we are talking about a process, set of interrelated activities that starting by examining data sets and trying to analyze them, process them to finalize, or what we aim to get, draw conclusions about information they contain. And while working with data analytics, we might utilize different kind of tools and different techniques to discover patterns and insights. We can go into a very extreme technical approach that can even include the science of statistics, also working with some technical programming languages like Python, where we need to utilize libraries in that programming language to create maybe analysis and visualization, up to moving into maybe just being familiar with analytics as a user or as a final user of that analytics, or let's say visualization project or initiative. So talking about the steps that we will go through any data project, we will start by data collection. And normally data engineers in the large institutions, sometimes they have or they work basically on maintaining the data sources where the operational data is stored or coming from. Or maybe a simple business or a small store, it's not a big deal. But for large institutions, sometimes they work with highly diversified data warehouses, databases, different systems, and that require actually the complexity, how we can collect the data from multiple sources. Sometimes we generate these data from interaction with customers or clients. So, or sometimes coming from sensors. Nowadays, we have a lot of sensors that are connected to our information systems, and we can generate data from. It could be indicators about the stock level, maybe traffic monitoring, and we can also think about maybe number of people or crowd in a certain area. So these sensors can generate data every second, and this data is fed into a specific data set where can be later on become a source, important source for our analysis and for our data analytics project. So here we take or we focus on a lot about the data quality and integrity. Make sure that the quality of the data is not compromised with any error or mistake. Either it could be by human or it could be through technical failure of a hardware, could be attached to a sensor, or any technical glitches coming in the systems. After we collect the data, we move into the data cleaning. And here sometimes errors could happen intentionally or sometimes unintentionally, and where we would like to see the type of the data collected. Sometimes we have errors in the format or how the data type are stored in the database to minimize any inconsistencies in the data and make sure that the data is accurate and reliable for analysis. Moving forward to the data transformation, where we can convert data into a suitable format or structure. And here sometimes, once we collect big data sometimes coming from multiple sources, from different structures. And we mentioned that sometimes we don't need to digest all the data. We need to think about the end user. What is the message? What I'm trying to answer? What is the objective of this visualization project I'm working on? And that will help us here how we can normalize the data. For example, we can change the granularity of the data. Sometimes I don't need too many details. How I can aggregate and how I can encode. So all of this will be handled under the transformation process. And later on, Hopefully, while we are starting the demonstration on our tool, on our Power BI tool, we will be working, or let's say we will be demonstrating each of these steps. Data analysis sometimes includes statistical and for some advanced applications of the analytics, we will implement or we will use machine learning techniques to analyze the data. And this is in business, we see a lot of useful applications where sometimes I would like to classify or generate a profile of my customers. I can maybe sometimes would like to identify some trends in the market, what is going on, and try to understand what will be the future and how I can do some correlation between events that are impacting my business. So this is a very important, but again, believe me, if I don't have correct previous steps completed, like data collection, cleaning, transformation, the analysis will not be at all successful. So it's very important that each step we will take it and make sure that we are completing it as it's supposed to. Otherwise, we will not have a desired useful outcome or visualization. Once we move, we finalize or analyzing the data, trying to understand what we are trying to achieve, then we might go to visualization, which is the most interesting part, or maybe how we can make the data exciting or maybe more meaningful. And definitely we can convey a message and communicate. Could be with decision makers to be able to take decisions quickly and easily through charts, graphs, and maps. And the Power BI, this is exactly one of the most beautiful features of it. We have a lot of visualization elements. And sometimes, if we would like even to customize a special visualization, we might be able to do that by maybe importing from the additional libraries. And sometimes we have special store where we can buy certain visualization if you don't want to make it. And that's all about the, let's say, general or basic steps. Now in the market, we are having a lot of maybe applications or maybe tools that are taking part of the business intelligence. Still turning data into insights is still challenging, and the challenges are actually because or due to these three causes that make sure that we have end-to-end view. And while I'm using different tools and different platforms or different devices, I want to be able to see the visualization as the business analyst created it, coming to the inside, which is the end user. And this is how we can see that this challenge is, we are trying to overcome these kind of challenges by enhancing and improving the current business intelligence tool. Dealing with multiple data sources, nowadays it's not anymore we are working with Excel sheets. Businesses are storing their data on clouds, and they are getting live updates of the data, and they need these data which stores in different SaaS solutions from different applications and providers to be able to access and refreshed securely as well. A third point is the right data for the right users at the right time, which is something that is very important. Sometimes our managers, they need to see maybe daily reports every time at 9 o'clock a.m. AM, we would like to see an overview about the total sales, total number of customers, orders, leads, to be able to understand the real situation of our business. So different roles, sometimes they have different needs, and we need to make sure that we are specifying who can see what and how often, and all of these things. It was impossible actually during the past days where we are working with sheets or Excel or maybe some typical normal databases. The problem of databases is that sometimes they don't generate these beautiful visualizations that are actually needed by the business manager. Normally, sometimes it requires a database engineer to be able to pull the report or to program a query in order to generate some reports. And sometimes if you would like as a user to customize or to tune that query, you need to change that code. And working with tools like Power BI will empower actually some users in order to customize and to play with the visualization or the dashboard to generate maybe different views. All of this actually is becoming now an added value of such kind of tools. Now, Power BI is a business analytics tool by Microsoft, as we mentioned. It will enable interactive visualization and business intelligence capability. Again, when we talk about business intelligence, it's a field of study. And normally business intelligence require different background and also require a team will work on achieving business intelligence at the company level. It include database, people who understand databases, cloud computing, statistics, understanding also programming, visualization. So it's a mix of different areas in order to achieve and most importantly, being expert in the business domain or the topic that we are generating the visualization for. So the work sometimes cannot be completed by one person. We need a team in order to finish that. I would like to mention that every day we expect a new change about Microsoft Power BI. So this is a very dynamic and changing tool. What we present maybe, or what we will discuss today, maybe after 1 week or 2 weeks will be completely different. And it's always important to check the latest update published by Microsoft. I will share with you some links where you can follow later on and to make sure that you are actually checking the latest update about these kind of tools. But it's important to understand that we have different versions: Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, which is based on the cloud, and they are a little bit different sometimes in the interface and also with some differences in the functionality. So, for example, on the mobile, you can maybe view, you can see, you can edit as a manager, but you cannot expect to do a full customization of your visualization using the mobile version. So it's important to understand these different components or availability of the tool. And then importance of this tool, it will facilitate data-driven decision making and make sure that actually we are empowering our managers in order to work. So I have to say that I was exploring another tools like Tableau. Tableau is also one of the most famous tools that are actually available in the market with Power BI. But what I noticed personally that Tableau might be a little bit more difficult to use, and it has special terminologies. So I don't say this is better, Power BI is better or not better, but I just wanted to tell you that it could be having the same concepts, but the way you do it through the tool could be a little bit different. And sometimes it's the preference of the user who like, for example, to adopt Microsoft, for example, packages or different ones. But I can say that most of the functionalities can be done in both tools. So I can say that Power BI is user-friendly and it has wide range of data visualizations options, connect multiple sources with having support to real-time data access, and will enhance collaboration through shared dashboards and reports. Most of the tools actually are doing that, but I just wanted to highlight. So the Power BI cloud-based business analytics service will enable fast and easy access to the data and a live 360 view of your business, and you understand. And also with the power of artificial intelligence now, these kind of tools are much more empowered, and you can see some of the AI features that will help me as a business analyst or as a decision maker to maybe use AI to suggest or create or design sometimes or discover some new information about my data from the data sets without I intentionally planning to do that. I want just to go faster with the key benefits. I just want to highlight here that if we would like to look at Microsoft Power BI, we can see that companies who are actually using multiple sources, for example, from a different providers, they might connect these applications or systems into the Power BI. We can also connect data from the company itself, and we can get also cloud databases hosted on a cloud to be connected. We can also connect Excel file sheets, and we can also work with local databases. So like typical databases, we're actually talking here about maybe Microsoft Access. If you would like to do some small projects and try to work with your data, you still can easily integrate such kind of platforms. And once you connect these different data sources, you can implement these Power BI services, having the live dashboard, visualization, reports, and refreshing the data. And definitely, if you are talking about live data, we are talking here about the cloud version of the Power BI, and where your data need to be published on a server, and this server will actually make sure that all users connected to this data will get the latest update of such for such visualization. And then after that, you can also use your natural language. So you will see that we have some functionalities like query, question and answer, where you can type questions about your data, and the Power BI will suggest maybe for you something, maybe or a visualization, or can get the data for you. And last thing is sharing and collaboration. So I just wanted to highlight these are the different, maybe whatever industry is, whatever your company, you are maybe working in a bank, or you are working in an educational institution, or any type of business, you must have different roles. And it's very important to understand this, because if you are planning to be certified in Power BI, you might have a different maybe learning path or certification path. And this is sometimes we suggest to our students, if we are presenting this tool maybe to our computer science or maybe our IT students, we normally maybe suggest them to follow maybe a different path, a learning path. So maybe like a developer, or maybe a BI professional. While if you would like to work with business students or management or managers, normally we can actually suggest start by a business user and then a business analyst if they would like to integrate or to be part of designing or creating. So these are different roles that can be actually played, or we can actually include in our project, let's say Power BI project, and each one will have a different. I want you to maybe have a look. These are the resources where you can get the latest about the tool. And as I mentioned, maybe today we will show you the Power BI. After 2 weeks, it might be not completely, but you will have some changes in the interface. And this is something we see quite often happening. The past 6 months, the look and feel of the tool is quite different. And that's the importance of always being connected to the latest video tutorials and learning materials that are available on Microsoft themselves. So this is the resources where we can work with. And now I would like to maybe start by introducing the tool, and maybe through the last half an hour, maybe we can do a small demo of the tool and the capabilities of that tool. Of course, maybe 1 or 2 hours will not be enough to master Microsoft Power BI, but at least the goal is to give us a foundation about such tool and the capability of it, and maybe to get you excited to learn more about that tool. So I would like to probably, I'm sure that you can see now my desktop. And the way you can download Power BI is going to if you can go here to the Microsoft Store on your computer, and you can just type Power BI, and then you will see different applications available on the Microsoft. As I mentioned, here you can see my Power BI desktop. If you already install it on your machine, you will find it like this installed. And we have here also Power BI report builder, which has less functionality actually in terms of the things that you can do. And definitely today we will be demonstrating the Power BI desktop where we can install. And once you click here, it will take some time and until you install it on your package. But in my case, I already installed it, so I will just click open. And once it will be launched, maybe for the first time, maybe at your side, you will find a welcoming screen or a welcoming message that maybe will show you, for example, tutorials or some information about Power BI, and sometimes some templates that can be utilized. Once you maybe close that welcoming screen, you might have a look here at, let me just try to minimize. So if you can see here, you will have your home page where you can have different ways how you can connect or how you can link different data sources. And if you can see here, we can have One Lake Data Hub, Excel workbook, SQL Server. It depends on the data source, as we mentioned. And the nice thing is that you can have also here, which is learn with sample data. So sometimes if you don't have data, you can maybe launch some sample data. It could be about financial. In this case, let me show you what we can see. So here it will open for me a table. Let me check. If you see here, you can find this is a symbol of a table. And once you click on it, you can see what are the data component looks like. And then you can see here down either load or transform the data. And this is what we discussed earlier. So the first thing, we are trying to identify the source of the data, trying to connect it to the Power BI, either from cloud or Excel. And then we have the option here to transform. What does it mean, transform? It simply means that you can maybe edit or change, or you can maybe modify, because maybe you don't need the whole columns here. Maybe in your analysis or in your some task, maybe you need to focus on certain or parts of that. And of course, if this data is available on a cloud, and sometimes you need to make sure that you refresh to get the latest update. What is the difference between the table and the sheet, actually? And this is something, maybe if you are familiar with Microsoft Excel, you understand, you would understand that sometimes in a sheet, we might put our data in a table in a specific sheet, but we have sometimes the option to specify in a sheet multiple tables. My suggestion and my recommendation always is to work with the tables, because once you generate a table on Excel sheet and you are importing it in Power BI, it will fetch the right data and will minimize the number of data cleaning and transformation you would like to do. So this is one of the options, and I don't want to upload that specific data. I would rather maybe try something else, and I prepared for you here one of the examples published by Microsoft. Is a small data set, and it has two tables where we would like to connect them, clean them, and work with the visualization. So I will go to, if you see here on my home, I can see this pan where I can see all the options for connecting or getting data, or the source of the data. So in this case, I will for the example here today, I will be using the Excel workbook, and I will just navigate to my desktop and try to upload. This is the file which is actually located here on my desktop. So let me just try to open it for you to understand. And it's very important before we work on any visualization is to have a clue and try to understand what data I have in my sheets. So here we see how many sheets. We see two sheets. The first sheet include list of orders, and you can see here, if you can check, we have a lot of data. And if you would like to show this data to your manager, he will not be able to do anything with this data, actually. So we need to process that to generate useful information. We can maybe abstract, or maybe can generate visualization and charts that can be more meaningful and useful. On the other side, I have another table here, or let's say sheet, that represents a table, which is the customers, list of customers. So here we have maybe like business customers we are dealing with, and we are selling them our product. And here you can see the information. People who are actually having database background or IT background, they can understand that in databases, sometimes we need to connect tables to be able to retrieve retrieve important data from two tables. For instance, in this order, I can see here order ID, customer ID, number of cookies shipped, revenues, cost, or if I would like to know the address of a specific customer, I cannot know it from this, and I need to retrieve that information from the other table. And how to do this? I need to use a connecting field, which we call it in the database terminology, is a foreign key. So in this case, the customer ID is playing that role, is trying to connect records from two different tables. And by knowing a specific value on the customer ID, I can find where is that location. So this is called query. And normally people who are building up relational databases, they will be able to understand that logic. We will still apply it in Power BI, and let's see how we do it. So I will go back to my Power BI, and I would like to, you can also still go to the file here, and you can click get data if you wish, and you can here see all the different options. So this is one way where you can select Excel, and I will go down to the data set. I will open. Oh yes, it's the file is unused. Let me try to close it. Make sure that maybe because maybe someone is opening, another user is opening the data file, and maybe there's an edit on it. So to make sure that we are getting the latest or the most updated data, it's important to make sure that the file is maybe saved or closed in order to be. So on here, I can see now the navigator is able to show me the different sheets and tables. So in my Excel sheet, I already identified, Power BI identified two tables. And if I select on this, I can see the values are actually what exactly the data stored in each table. And for me, if I'm okay with this, I can click load. But if I want maybe to do some editing, and this is something important, sometimes we need to change the format of the date, or maybe I would like to change numbers from decimal to integers. Maybe I would like to delete some columns, some data. So how I can do that? I need to press transform data. And once you do that, it will open for me something called the Power Query editor. And let me try to maximize my window to make sure that it's clear to you. On the left side, you can see here I can toggle between the two different tables. And let's have a look on the customers. What I see here is that maybe there is a mistake in the way we inserted the information about, for example, United States. And if you are making a query about how many, for example, customers or client based on in United States, in this case, it will get me 3 out of 5 because maybe there is a human error or a mistake how the data is inserted. So good news is Power BI is capable of doing that. And here we have two records. But imagine that if you have thousands of records, you cannot do that manually. So we have here replace values option. So you just need to right click on that column and then go to replace values. Now let me try to, I want the value to find US, and I want to replace it by United States, for example. And then I will click OK. Notice on the right side of my query, I am the Power BI, or in specific, the Power Query Editor is recording every change or everything I do, or every transformation process or step I do, so that if I would like to cancel or retrieve or go back, I still can do that. Another thing is here, what we see now does not change the source data file. So you can look at this as a middle layer, honestly. it's like a copy, or so it's a view of the data, and I can modify and work on that. So sometimes you might need to keep the data in its let's say original value, and you don't want to change that, because sometimes this data does not belong to you. It might belong to a third party or a supplier or a company that does not allow you to modify or change. So here is a view. So we are taking a copy and we are modifying that copy on our side. So I'm happy with the current changes now on the customer. Let me check the orders quickly. And in the orders, for example, I don't want to include maybe this column, which is the rush shipment. Is this a rush shipment or no? So I can select and I can click here, remove column. So again, see here, we can see that a removed column has been added to the steps. And of course, you can do many other things. If you see here the options in the transformation, you can change whole number into decimal, you can replace values, you can group, you can split, for example. Look at this data. You can split, for example, day, month, year. Maybe you would like to do some analysis on a day or a year level, so you can still, if you wish to split them, you can do that. And you can apply even text analytics on that. So you have a lot of options that are very useful at the transformation or data cleaning, let's say, process. You can even double click here and change. You can type and change the column name, and so on. So if I'm happy with the changes I have done, I can click close and apply. And in this step, we are actually, if you see here, we are loading and generating our data to be added to this version. Let me try to be now go faster, because we still have maybe 10 minutes. And if you see here on the right side, I now uploaded successfully on the data pane, which can I open and close. Please check here. So this is important parts you'd like to keep focusing on while working with Power BI. So this is the data. If I click on the data and I want to see what are the attributes actually. So if you see here, these are all the columns in my Excel sheet has been recognized as attributes of each table. Like how I can see that the data and how I can start building my visualization. So if you go to the left side, you can see here different views. And 6 months ago, I remember this DAX query view was not available here. Just to show you how these kind of tools are emerging and developing and changing, honestly. So please, even if you watch a tutorial online, maybe published last month or maybe 6 months ago, don't expect you will see the same interface because it's keep changing and keep developing. Myself, when I was giving a training about this tool 6 months ago, we didn't have this view button available. We can still do the DAX, which is data analysis expressions, something very similar to the formulas we are working on Excel. Now, let me try to see since now I am on the report, I did not build any visualization yet, I will see nothing. But if I click on the table, I will be able to see the content of the data I have. So I click here on the order. This is the same files actually uploaded. And if you notice here, I removed that column, which was called rush shipment, and if I go to the customer, the values here are changed, right? According to my transformation steps that I have made. Now, let me go back to the third view, which is called the model view. And this is very important. Now, I explained this quickly. People who has database background or built or designed a relational databases are actually types of databases that we have tables that are connected with each other. And here we can see that Power BI was able automatically to detect the connection between these tables. And let me try to put it here. And I will not, if I try to select, hover the mouse on the relationship, it will show me what are the fields that are used to do the connection. So customer ID from the order will be the same as the customer ID on the customer tables. But what if, for any reason, maybe the Power BI did a mistake and connected wrong fields or attributes together? You still can click on the relationship, and here you can change and modify. So you can select the right, for example, which table and which column is mapped with the corresponding table and corresponding column. And here we can specify the types of relationships. Now, to explain this, we should have just a quick maybe refreshment about how we connect tables on relational database. One-to-one means that in one table you will find only one record can be mapped with corresponding table. One-to-many means that maybe one customer, you can find the ID on the order tables multiple times, because maybe one customer can order from me many orders, not only one order. So it's normally that to find the customer ID value duplicated many times. Again, I don't want to go into more details. We can maybe explain this on another workshop related to database design. But here I assume that maybe you have an idea. I will just keep it as it is. The relationship is one to many, right? One to many means one customer in the table could be mapped with multiple orders on the order table. It seems that everything is correct, everything is fine, I'm happy to start doing the visualization. I will go back to the report view, and I will start now building up my visualization. Let me try to see, I would like to visualize maybe the number of maybe cookies I shipped. Maybe I'm having a cookie factory and I would like, I'm shipping it to customers or clients, and I want to know over the time. So you can see here on the second tab, or the visualization tab, these are the different visualizations possible about my data. Now, which visualization to use for which data type, this is also can be explored by your maybe experience in visualization of the tables, the data actually. And there is some basic rules. What would be the best way to visualize sales? What would be the best way to visualize categories, right? But even if you don't know, we can work with artificial intelligence, and sometimes it can suggest for us some useful visualization. So let me show you how to use the visualization to show total of maybe cookies shipped over maybe a time. So I will, if I select that from here, if I select that specific, let me try to maximize here for you to see the total number of maybe cookies shipped. What I can see here on the side is the total sum of the cookie shipped. But for me, it doesn't make sense. I need to see how does that total of the sales will vary based on the time. So I can select here the order date, and it generated for me somehow a representation by maybe the different parts or times. Maybe I don't like the bar chart and I would like to use a line chart. So what I need to do is I need to select the visualization and maybe change into the line chart. Again, here, what do we see is the total of sales based maybe on month, each month or each year, and I maybe can do, what can I do is here to make it more useful or more usable is to change what we call the granularity of my visualization. So I might drill up or drill down to to change. For example, if you can see here, I'm 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 minimizing. I don't want to see the sales per day. Actually, I want to minimize that huge granularity or detail, because it will actually make it less readable. And that's the art. What exactly you would like to convey the message. I want to make sure that it's clear. So from here, buttons, you can maybe drill up or drill down, and you can even keep change. So you can actually sometimes, if you'd like to apply some filters and slices, and you might actually work with, if you'd like to export that specific data or to spotlight on that visualization, if you are visualizing multiple charts. So I'm happy with that. And if I select that, I can go here to the second option where I can maybe work with more customization. I can check here. I can maybe change the title. You can see I'd like to maximize. So here is this is automatically generated by the Power BI, but still you can change. You might even change, if you wish, the color, make it maybe more visible. You can play with that as you wish. You can even add additional subtitle if you can turn it on, turn it off, and you can have a lot of, you can even generate special effect about the background. So these are some styling things that will enhance the representation. On the y-axis, sometimes you want to generate maybe a secondary y-axis here, where you can, maybe you would like to add, and you can turn it on, and you can maybe put a specific range that will mean something for you. So you can see here a lot of options that can be utilized to keep a change or to keep customize. This is something that maybe we can discuss on another time, where you can have additional analysis on this, and you can even find a trend, and you can detect maybe what would be maybe the prediction of future, and you can work on maybe the forecast. If you see here, you can have a forecasting option, and that will be based on different forecasting techniques. You can maybe specify here, and based on the confidence level, you can maybe then arrange or change your forecast of your data model. So based on the data you have, definitely using multiple statistical tools to help you predict or forecast future sales could be actually considered, and each one has advantages and disadvantages. Now, I would like to switch off the forecast now, and probably I would like maybe to add another visualization. Maybe I would like to add the revenue. And here on the revenue, I can see it is represented as a bar chart, but I want maybe to change. I want to have it represented as a final number. which is the car in this case, 6 million of revenue. And probably I would like to add customers names. And if I select customer name, we just select outside, and then I can add the customer name. You can see here that this like a menu has been generated or created. You can change, and you can even relocate it in a different position. And just trying to put it here up. And if you see here, if I choose a customer name, it will directly reflect a dynamic change or the total or the sum of the revenue, and will show me also the trend of total sales. And I can really see which maybe the customer is driving maybe or have an increase or decrease on the demand per day. Definitely, this is maybe just a quick overview about how to maybe use this kind of data, try to generate some of the visualizations. And probably one of the nice features that I would like you to maybe think about it is the question and answer. So here sometimes you need to ask questions about your data, and if you see here Power BI is maybe proposing to you want some of the questions or maybe suggest, but you can also ask questions. Which, for example, I want to ask which customers and if you see here this underlined, it means that this is recognized as part of the data columns in my data set. So this is not just a normal text, but this is a text recognized as a table, and maybe probably will be linked also with a table or attribute in a table or a column title. Which customer have highest, for example, cookie shipped, and it will give me the answer directly. So it will get me something like this. And if I like, for example, this visualization, I can maybe turn this into a standard visual. So I can click and here it's now, it is part of my visualization that even if my data will be changed, always here I will get the information or the data about the customers with the highest, for example, the highest sales. And I can, of course, right click, I select this visualization and always go here and I can modify the the text, the title from here. For example, I can add a title, the customer with highest, for example, order. And of course, you can do as much as you wish with the and we can even specify a part of that. Now, quickly, I know that our time is almost finished. What I wanted to show you is, you can see here that these are actually elements of the artificial intelligence that can be enhance the way you work with data and your visualization. And you can even, with a question and answer, you can generate sometimes visuals. You can even, instead of having it as a table, you can you can see the split of the sales by pie chart. So if you don't want to do it manually from here, you can still have a natural language way of asking questions, and then you can generate a visualization, transform it into part of your report. You can, for example, let's say sales of products. And this is how you generate, for example, one of the visualizers. You can create as many as you wish, and you can toggle from here to see how does it look like if you would like to view it on a mobile. So you make sure that your design is friendly with mobile, because you might download your mobile application on your mobile device and share these visualization to mobile users. So how I can now share this, save it and share it with my my colleagues or my manager, for example, I need to save this file, desktop, okay, my first Power BI, and this is how you can maybe save it on the desktop. If you'd like to publish it and make sure that it's accessible to users online over the cloud, in that case, you need to click publish. And in this case, you're actually publishing it, uploading this visualization from your desktop to your Power BI cloud version, where it can be shared and it can be communicated. And you can even set up alerts. So every day you can share the visualizations to specific users and specific managers. So we need to publish it. We have to add it to a specific workspace. It's like a type of project you have on your cloud. And once it's successfully published, you can click here to see how does it look like. So if you can see here, I already opened my Power BI, and I just wanted to, and you can see here how the look and feel is a little bit different. You can see I'm using now the browser in order to be able, and I can see here the different ways or different buttons available here in order to click, and that is my first Power BI. So I can share this on Teams. I can share it with, if you can see, by email. I can have a copy. I can even, and this is something interesting, the PowerPoint. And this is something that might be very beautiful if you have a PowerPoint and you want to integrate live dashboard in your PowerPoint. This is how you can do it. So you just need to copy this link. Let me try to open my slides. Maybe I would like to add it here at the end. I will create a new slide, and I know I need to go to insert, for example, a Power BI. Make sure that you are using the Microsoft 365. Otherwise, you will not be able to have this button of the Power BI. Then I have to click, paste my link I generated from the cloud version, and I will click here, insert. And I have to wait some time here. So it will ask me to add a title, right? Just sales of product, add a title. And if you can see here, this is not an image. This is a dashboard on my Microsoft PowerPoint. And that's how you can make really your, now see here, I cannot open the data pane. I cannot, I'm here watching or using it as a user. So I can only view, change, the filter, I can search, but I cannot, if I would like to add and to work with the data options in this case, I need to open the cloud version and edit it from there. And you can see here, this is how you can reflect the update, which is actually 7:09 p.m. So if you save it and you open it tomorrow, it will get maybe it's because it's a live data. Why? Because simply we are actually not using a local file on a desktop, or it is connected directly to the cloud. Thank you very much. I think I already exceeded my time. And still, this is just a starter session where we can just have an idea about the tool, the Power BI, and really we still have more things actually to explore and to see. I'm sorry because I was using my computer. I started to see the comments. Excellent, excellent. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm always available, online, offline, anytime. We will be learning from each others, and definitely it will be a great opportunity always to think about how you can capitalize on the data and how you can build useful visualization, and you can generate useful outcome of your projects. I don't want to take extra time from your side, but I wanted to tell you that there are a lot of nice tips, nice things you can still do with your Power BI. You can maybe connect it to the mobile and you can do a lot of things, but for the time being now, we are out of time, and maybe we can plan in the future more features. If you have any questions, please. Thank you very much. Ivy, I'm not sure how we can enable the more questions and answer. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining the session. And the mic is not working from your side. Let me see how we can enable. Thank you very much, everyone. Honestly, I'm not sure how. I only just started the meeting. I believe that maybe we need to do another settings for enabling everyone to be able to talk. I'm not sure, Ivy, if you can support us.
Doctor, I already enabled the Q&A.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely you can contact me. I'm available on LinkedIn. Just remember my name, Anas Najdawi. And if you are not from ADU and you would like to connect and stay with us, always we'll be happy and we'll be glad to get in touch with you. So now we reach at the end of the session. I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank the organizers. I would like to thank Ivy for the great work, Dr. Hamad and everyone from ADU, the marketing team, for doing the great job of facilitating and supporting this session. And don't forget, every week we have a session and about from ADU faculty. And please follow us, join us, and try to benefit from these kind of opportunities of learning experience about maybe something relevant to your work and to your maybe future career plans. Thank you very much. And by this, we can conclude our session today.
you, Doctor, and hopefully we will schedule the next one soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. Hopefully. Thanks. Have a nice evening, everyone. Catch up with you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.